Hello, love wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Start off with the biggest news of the week. The Rats lost! If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Listen between two beers.
Getting down. Hello, love wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means.
That it's Thursday night football? Are we still on the football show?
No, that was a little early. It got heated up in that football show.
It did. You two need to be nice to each other.
We were, look at me and Lawrence talked for like 10 minutes after the show. Told each other we loved each other. That's fair. That's how it goes. Listen, when you're talking about sports, sometimes it's toe to toe, but it's not like it's not real. It's like it's kind of that's that's how it is. But we got Fernando already in the chat. Zach popping in saying it's National Comic Book Day. Were you ever a comic book kid? Was that not in your arsenal as a child?
Richie Rich comics. Yeah, I bought a bunch of the.
Oh, look at that counts. Wasn't that in the wait? Were those like legitimate comic? Or were they like
Richie Rich comics? They were legit comic books. They were comics.
Okay.
I got some comic books somewhere over here too. Dan Brown's comics. I got his comic books.
Heck yeah! I got some wrestling comic books out there. Hold on.
I don't know. Comic books were never my thing.
The people. I'll be right back.
Entertain the people. And I got Fernando say Dynamite was fire last night. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack from Dynamite last night. I heard that show that they had this weekend was pretty fire too.
It was.
What I saw, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, look at I got this. They're from DC Comics. I don't know much about them, but that one is laying they're wrestling comics.
Nice.
So they're all like Big Daddy Danger, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But it's all wrestling based. Like it looks like Luchador comics. I know WWE made a line of comics.
I wish I had. They were sitting right here, but yeah, our friend Dan Brown made some comics. He gave them to me when I went to one of his shows. They are for sale if you go to one of his shows, and he'll sell them to you.
If Dan Brown is in your town, you should be going to his shows. He's a funny man.
Fernando says he has a huge stack of old PWI magazines. I've got a few floating around here. That was a big thing this week. The PWI Top 500 dropped. Shout out to our boy Mars the Specialist.
Hell yeah, man.
Now that he's moving up the ranks of the PWI at 469, I wonder if he'll have time for us little folk, He used to just pop in here.
He used to pop in all the time.
And now he's big star, but good for him. He's well deserved, well earned. Yeah, a lot of LPW alums made that list, but Mars is one of the day one roster guys, so good for him.
Spent a lot of time as grand champion. Salvation champion. Like he's one of the best in the world. He very much deserved on that list. I expect him to climb that list year after year. I felt really good for him. I sent him a message. I said, congrats. Yeah, very cool to see Mars in there. And like you said, we had a lot of other LPW alum. Michael Richard Allen Clark was in there. I'm sorry, Michael Allen Richard Clark, might be. He was in there as well.
Yeah.
Fernando, we can talk about it. I necessarily don't disagree. Pluggo and I usually every year when they release the PWI 500, that this is a Dusty Rhodes shirt. It is a Dusty Rhodes Bionic Elbow.
I mean, how do you that is a sweet shirt. I don't know. How do you argue against the
I
three?
can't.
How do you argue against the three people in front of Hangman? Hangman was fourth, which is respectable out of 500 people. It was Cody, Moxley, and Gunther. And then at 5, Hiroki Goto. So listen, I don't think you're wrong, but I also need to know I need you to do your work. I need you to explain your findings to me. By all means.
Well, my only thing when it came to, I think Hangman should have been a little higher than 4. I know Moxley was the champion for a lot of that time, but I felt like Hangman's stuff was more compelling throughout the year. And I feel like the story of Hangman getting to Moxley and being the one to defeat Moxley, I feel like was the best story on that side of things all year. So I probably would have swapped Hangman and Moxley there, as opposed to, I think the list is good. I feel like the top 10 is pretty accurate in my eyes.
They weight the list heavily though on championships won,
which is fine,
like that. So
yeah,
Hangman didn't have the title for hardly at all.
Yeah,
forever, so
I had a problem with. I think Takeshita needs to be higher than 17 for me. I think Takeshita could have made an argument to be top 10 for me. That's how good he is. But I thought overall the list was good.
Well, in order to do that, you got to take someone out.
I mean, okay. If
Ospreay, Mystico, Rollins, Swerve, Jey Uso, and we just talked about top 5. Who are you kicking out for Takeshita? I love Takeshita. I don't think I'm not saying that any slight. Or then, in front of him is Bandito and CM Punk, Oba Femi, Zack Sabre Jr., Joe Hendry, Okada. It's a very it's a very good top 20 for sure this year.
The top 20 is loaded because then you got Damian Priest, Trick Williams, and Jacob Fatu right behind him to round out the top 20. But yes, the top 10, like Pluggo said, we had Cody Rhodes at 1, John Moxley at 2, Gunther at 3, Hangman, Adam Page at 4, Hiroki Goto at 5, Jey Uso at 6, Swerve, Strickland at 7, Seth Rollins at 8, Mystico at 9, and Will Ospreay at 10. So a very, very solid top 10 there. I have no complaints. I have no complaints about the top 10 at all. I mean, again, I'm a Gunther guy. Dustin saying he was well deserving of that spot this year. I don't necessarily disagree with that either. But yeah. I honestly think if you're looking at that top 3, I mean, honestly, if you're looking at the top 5, you can convince me any one of you could interchange all those guys and the list would still make sense to me. It's really just a kind of, you're picking your favorite, So, but overall, I thought that was really good. It was a good list. Braun Breaker at 24.
Which is about his age.
Yeah, literally. You had Mark Briscoe coming in at number 28. That was good. MJF, number 30. So he took a little bit of a dip. But
how much did that piss MJF off to know that Mark Briscoe is ahead of him?
Oh, I think they should use it in the storyline. If that wasn't the end, if that wasn't the official end of that rivalry at All Out, I think that he should definitely talk about that. I think you should definitely talk about that. You had Effie, our pal Effie, LPW wrestling alum there, showed up at a show and worked for us. We love Effie. He was at 42.
I think he's the highest independent wrestler on the list this year.
I believe he was at 42. So that is quite incredible when you think about that. Penta, the great year that he had, he ended up at 45. Dominic Mysterio, 48.
Should have been number 1, baby.
I am sure there are people out there that agree with you. Mance Warner, one of our favorites, at number 50, so he's right in the middle of this list. Chris Jericho popped in at 54.
Chris Jericho at 54 is wild.
Yeah,
I didn't expect that.
That seems high.
I would have put Dominic ahead of. This is no slight on anybody. Ahead of Javon Evans, ahead of Ethan Page.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would have had him ahead of Drew McIntyre, ahead of Tom Latimer.
Yeah, ahead of Moose.
I would put him ahead of.
So that would have put him near the 30s for me.
I would have thought Dom would be top 30 with his ascent. That dude's turned into a star, man. Turned into a star. Like an actual like I feel like he's like a.
So I just talked myself into 18 spots on a quick glance. I can imagine if I really sat down and crunched the numbers, Dirty Dom would. Yeah, that feels about right. Top 30 feels about right.
Yeah. Let's see. Michael.
I think next year, if he stays on this trajectory, he'll be up there because they do consider the Mega Championship as a world championship, and they do recognize it. So, him holding that plus his IC title run,
yeah. Joey Janela, number 98. Allie Ketch, even though she was injured a lot of the year, because of the quality of work she was doing before that injury, she even said on social media that I think she hinted at she was going to be fighting, obviously, for the heavyweight title and probably maybe even winning it at some point if she didn't get injured. And she might have even been much higher. I mean, 96, when you missed that much time with the really serious injury she had, I mean, you can only imagine if that didn't happen and things went the way they were supposed to. She's probably way up there, you know? But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good list. It was good to see Mars on there as well as a lot of other wrestlers that I know you have the full list of people that have appeared in LPW.
Quite a few because we do big things at LPW and we have big time wrestlers on, so that's what we do.
It's what we do, man. So yeah, that was really good.
Karrion Kross at 113 because they didn't know how to book him properly. If you let him win a couple of those matches, maybe he's top 100, guys. Just saying.
Yeah.
Not you, PWI. You do a fine, fantastic job, our friends over at PWI. But I'm talking WWE. Yeah. Should have booked him.
Yeah.
What's up, Scott? Scott's in the house.
What's going on, Scott? First time in, I think, 8 years, Roman Reigns did not make the list. Did not qualify. Didn't wrestle enough. So Roman Reigns, not on the list for the first time in a long time.
Cena wasn't on the list either, but this year he will be, right?
I would think on next year's one he would be considered, right? So I would think he would be considered, although if you look at listen, I want to talk about your experience first because that's going to be more positive than me. What
experience are you talking about?
Well, you had the fortunate opportunity
and
task.
What do you mean?
You were at Wrestlealooza.
I was.
Last weekend. You were there. You had some great interviews on Media Day, and then you went to the show and were covering it for Love Wrestling. So you got that great opportunity, and you crushed it. You did real good stuff, very well. And then the show happened, and I'll talk about that after. But Scott's the second person saying he would have had Hangman at 1. Second person in the chat tonight so far.
You have to
had Hangman at 1.
Well, you have to kind of remember, like, Mox was the title holder for the evaluation period, and I think, and I'm not 100% sure, but
he might have been the whole time.
The win at All In might have just snuck into because I think the evaluation period ended in August because they have to compile the list and get it ready for the September release here. So he might not have won it then had that been a part of it, maybe. But hey, again, 4 is not bad. Fernando said, I'm lucky. Thank you. I was very lucky. I'm very honored to get to go down to Indy to cover the first event for ESPN. I didn't find out till late Tuesday night, so I had to
the evaluation period actually ended on July 31st, 2025.
So
all in was before that though, but it was right before.
But it's like
so
he won the belt against Moxley. His story arc was cool, but he just won it. That was the first time. I think that was the first gold he had held all year too.
I believe so, yes.
So he only had it for a couple of weeks by the time it ended, and hell, being 4 with very little, because for those that don't know, and we had Kevin on last year,
yeah,
and we've had Warren and Kristen Ashley, I can't speak, who's worked for PWI as well in the past, and they say it's a very kayfabe heavy weighted list. The championships are important. That's why you don't see certain things like that. So, but hey, Hangman at 4 for all that. Next year he'll probably be 1 if they let him hold this thing for a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, keep dropping your favorite people from the PWI. We'll tell you if they were supposed to be higher or lower. Well, we could chat about that throughout the show. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. But yes, I went down to Indianapolis Friday. I think it was Thursday. No, yeah, I went down Friday morning. And I got to go down and cover the event. I was able to go to the Riley's Children's Hospital, teamed up with Make-A-Wish and this kid. I haven't had a chance to really break down any of that footage and talk about it, so I'll talk about it for the first time here. This kid Layton, he's a diehard WWE fan. I guess he had some stomach things, and every time he'd go in for a surgery, he'd bring wrestlers with him. So he got to meet Maxine and Otis on Friday, which was super cool to just be in that room. Like, it was a very tight group in the sense that, like, even I felt for a hot second that maybe I wasn't supposed to be here, but the lady that was running it was very nice. I was like, yeah, no, you're in. I see you. So I was supposed to be. I don't know. But either way, it was a very cool experience. His mom and sister kept it from him. They told him he was just going down to Riley's to run some tests. And so he shows up, and there's Otis and Maxine to greet him, give him tickets to the show. They got to hang out with him for a little bit. And then Maxine and Otis went to a few different rooms and met some of the kids. So that was a really fun experience that I got to be a part of. And that's just cool. That's cool stuff that, like, I know WWE gets a lot of heat right now, and some rightfully so, some of it, right? But those events, like we did the packing meals for the homeless thing in Cleveland at SummerSlam.
That was great.
And I think we both left that weekend saying, like, that was our favorite thing. Like, it was just cool to see all the kids, getting a chance to enjoy, putting smiles on their face. Because again, they just love it. They don't cover it like we do in the sense that we have to. They just love being a part of it, being around superstars. And so that was fun. And then Friday, it was the press run. Mm-hmm. It was a very tight group.
Yeah, you didn't say there were not a lot of people.
I rushed across town from the Riley's thing, so it was Riley's, then the Jugget, and I was like, I got to get there soon so I can get in line and get a good spot, and hopefully, because we didn't know who we were getting until we actually got there.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, shoot, and then I got there, and it's just like me and Riccacino and SRS and a couple other Jose. Is it Jose? Yeah, Jose was there from. Yeah. I'm blanking. I'll have to look it up, but I sat with him all night. He's fantastic. And we just hung out, and like it was the Usos, Io Sky, and Stephanie Vicaris. I hope you guys have seen the videos up right now.
Go check them out.
Please go check them out. Comment, like it, subscribe it, so that I can keep getting more opportunities to do this. But it was cool. Like it was very laid back. It was very chill. They'd bring out Io. She'd do the 6 or 7 spots that she'd go. And then they brought out the Usos, and they did it together, clearly. And they were they were a vibe, man.
Oh, I bet.
They were vibes.
They have a good time. It sounds like they have a good time.
I'll say it wasn't the interview that I was piecing together in my mind when we found out the Usos were going to be a part of it, but then it just kind of, the chaos kind of rolled into what it was, and I think it turned out pretty good, all things considered. Because again, I kind of just going on the fly, so it was really cool to do that. And Stephanie Vicaris was fantastic.
Yes, very good.
She was great, And then that was pretty much my night. Like that was it for the day. And I got in a hotel room, and it really there wasn't a ton going on in the city, which was unusual. I don't know if it was a combination that Indianapolis isn't as big as like Cleveland, or the Rumble is bigger.
Yeah.
Or it was just because it was a last month thing. So I kind of just strolled around the city for a little while and ended up sitting at a calzone spot and talking to the waitress who was a super fan of wrestling. So I was like, well, there's that. And then, do you think the post-event press conferences will return at any point? I don't know. I was thinking about that this weekend because they didn't have one, Dustin. Again, obviously, they just had their...
Yeah.
Those post shows that they're doing now, I think they can accomplish more stuff in the terms of, we saw at the end of this one, the Cody and Seth standoff. Like, you can accomplish more and dictate the storyline the way you want it to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that I hope that they'll bring it back for us, as content creators.
Oh, of course.
Creation friends getting that opportunity. It was always really cool to see and really cool to go, oh, hey, look, it's, whoever on the screen asking so-and-so a question. I mean, that was how I got my start doing this thing, was I got invited to a post show. So hopefully they bring it back. But so then Saturday, I just kind of had checked out of my hotel at 12 o'clock and had nothing but time to kill. But it was cool. Like Friday they had a couple of ESPN spots.
Yes.
Throughout the day, the Sports
Center was there and all that stuff too. So
it was really cool to see how Sports Center does their thing. They had Becky Lynch, CM Punk, and then Saturday they had like the No Contest podcast with O'Shea Jackson. He was there. They ran a show. Sam Roberts. Like I had a really interesting. So I ended up being in this group of people that was in this spot where Sam Roberts and Marissa, right? Is that her name?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher it, but I think it's Marissa and Sam were doing a spot where they recorded it, and you could kind of see me in the background. Like the WWE context, Chuck and Craig actually sent me a screenshot. And we're like, "Is that you?" And I was like, "Yeah." I ended up getting roped into this group of people, but it was really cool. Like, it was really fun to see just kind of how like there was a line for free shirts, and you could take one of the pictures where your face is marked up against either Lesnar or Cena. The pre-show was fun to see. I got to hang out with Mr. OTM that I kind of talked about at the football show. He kind of hung out with me. I went to Kilroy's for the first time. Which apparently is a huge bar in the area that's famous, and I've never been, so I sat and had lunch with him there. Very cool spot. There was college football on the whole time. I rode a Lime scooter for the first time.
Wow, really?
I did not die.
You rented one?
Yeah, because in Indianapolis, I had my car in the garage, and just to kind of get up and down, where we needed to go. So, like, we took Lime scooters to the Superstore. Got it. And got to check out the Superstore.
Those are motorized?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. They go about
my ass would have wiped out.
They were going about 25. And that's the thing. Like, Mr. OTM was like, I'm gonna get a video of Pluggo's first Lime scooter ride, and he almost crashed taking a video.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would have crashed immediately. I would have been like, fuck. I wouldn't have been able to hold my balance. I wouldn't have been able to hold my balance.
But yeah, it was cool. The Miz was walking around there a little bit. I met Sam Roberts actually, like officially in the morning, like just hanging out. So that was cool to be like, oh hey man, you're like the king of this shit. Yeah. And and then I just got to go to I went to the show, checked in, sat down. I was hanging out with Riccacino. We were having a good old time. And I thought, from my vantage point, the show was not as bad as Scott saying WWE is pissed at ESPN right now. And I'll dive into that because I have some thoughts on that.
I do too.
Here in a second about WWE being mad at ESPN, whatever. I had a pretty good time. I mean, obviously the first match, I don't think any of us liked that. I don't think any of us wanted that. I don't know what the thought process behind Brock Lesnar pretty much squashing out John Cena was. Oh, really fun fact though, all those kids that came out with Cena, I was standing in line with one of the girls and she was telling me about it with her dad, and she was just like, yeah, they came up and recruited me. I'm like, hey, do you want to be in the John Cena entrance? All you need are some jorts. And I was like, what a fun thing to just be like, for a kid to just be like, I was standing outside this little area and they asked me if I wanted to be, she got to go to rehearsals, sit
That's
and
cool.
sweet. Yeah, she got hooked up. But yeah, I thought overall, like, I had a fun time. I thought Stephanie Vickers, Io slapped. I thought AJ Punk, Becky and Seth ruled. The main event was a little lackluster in the sense that I think everybody was on the come down from what just happened before that. But ultimately, like, I had a really nice, like, fun little experience. I got to watch some of my favorite people do their thing, and then I got to do my thing. I hope you guys watch after the show, of course. Don't leave the show to go watch it. But yeah, Scott's saying, and so the WWE gave Wrestlealooza a big fat C, and basically said in the article that they wrote, or the snippet that they wrote, that Io and Stephanie pretty much saved this show from being
Awful.
just awful. And
Yes.
I'll say this before I let you go, and I think we're going to be aligned in this. If the WWE is mad at ESPN for writing that review, one, put on a better show.
Correct.
And two, do you want ESPN? Like, not every Monday Night Football game that ESPN puts on is the greatest football game of all time.
Yeah,
right?
there are clunkers.
There are clunkers, and yes, listen, Trips made some promises. He didn't promise anything, but he said there was going to be big things. The biggest thing we got was Undertaker inducting Stephanie into the Hall of Fame, which rightfully so. She deserves it. But yes, Andres Hall is a really good writer. His job is not to write a fluff piece that's going to be, curtailed to what WWE wants. His job is to write what he saw for ESPN. And I'm sitting here right now as a guy that went to the event. I had a good time. There were some misfires at Wrestlealooza, but that's, again, I'm not saying anything that I don't think anybody else would be saying. I don't think it's my job, because that's the other thing I saw this weekend before we dive into like the in the ring stuff, was a lot of people dumping on all these content creators for going to AEW or going to this and going to that. Like, it's not our job. We're fans too, but also we have responsibilities and jobs. And if we get opportunities, again, I went. I had a good time, but I also don't think it was the greatest show I've ever seen in my entire life.
I would hope not.
You know what I mean? Like, I definitely, like, I could tell. I was shocked when Brock Lesnar squashed out John Cena. I said, "Oh, this is what we're gonna." And that is fake. They did not give Raw an out.
No,
that is
a fake one.
That is a fake one. You should see the F in fight, like the Raw. It's different lettering. Somebody wrote a fake one, and I actually thought Raw was not bad, all things considered. I actually didn't hate Raw. It could have been better, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah. So
the first show, Dustin, real quick before you go, and then I think you're going to go with this. The first show on ESPN, you'd think they would have done a lot more, not just to retain, but attract new viewers. JPJ, go.
Yeah, I just think that's what it was for me. It's, you've been touting it's the first show ever on ESPN. You've been touting this new app. Some people had to pay $30 to, even be able to watch this show. You have Triple H a couple days before, the day before on the press conference, say there's going to be big surprises and this. You never know what's going to happen, and nothing happened. That Brock Lesnar John Cena match was an embarrassment. That was an embarrassment of a situation. John Cena is in his last year. He's got 5 appearances left after that match, and you give us that, basically a rewrite of the SummerSlam match from all, like, why? What did that do for Brock Lesnar? What was the point of that? Did anybody come out of that thinking differently about Brock Lesnar? What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
That's going to be, I'm going to try not to swear as much. That's going to try to be the only swear I say tonight. But what was that? That was embarrassing. Embarrassing. That is a waste of John Cena.
And I'm even on that train, because this is his retirement tour. I think I said it in my hotel when I did it's John Cena. He's got 5 of these left, and people want to celebrate John. Now,
Yes.
one, we can debate all day whether the match should have been booked or not, or who wanted it.
I'm not even
yada.
talking. I'm not even
Right, that's
talking
what I'm
about
saying.
that stuff.
We could do that, but we're simply saying from an in-ring, in the squared circle, which, by the way, Mrs. Pluggo asked me why they call it the square, a ring when it's a square. I don't know, so if anybody actually knows the answer, let me know. But yeah, in the ring, like, people want to celebrate John. Now, am I saying he should have went undefeated his entire year? No. But what you gave us over the summer from Elimination Chamber to about a month ago, wasn't vibing. People weren't jiving with it. You should be doing everything you can to flip the script and just let him win matches. Again, and I don't know, he hasn't wrestled any of these up-and-coming people that we talked about him wrestling. This is a match that I think, like, give us classic John gets F5 3 times and somehow pulls out a win, right? You even brought out Paul Heyman to try to, like, make this a bigger spectacle than it was. And it definitely
Awful.
You could tell, like, being
They take the air out of the room.
Yes, you could tell, like, in the arena, everybody was on, like, a high. It's John Cena. And then all of a sudden, he hits that 6th F5, and you hear the 3. Because, again, I don't have commentary there. I just have the building itself. And it was 1, 2, 3, and everybody was
like, what? Yeah, like, what the hell?
What?
Like, what is that?
It's
nonsense.
You're right. It didn't need to be that. Brock didn't need that win. Now my problem with that is, are we going to run it back? Because now is John just going to go out with?
Well, the report no, because he's fighting AJ Styles. That whole thing happened this week as well.
He's fighting Styles in Perth.
Yeah, because in the way that I don't know how it all played out. Cena 100% should have won. Fernando, you are correct. Listen, if anything, now is the time to go back to Super C. Just let him. He should, even if he was taking the 6 X5s, he still should have superseded and won. I'm sorry. He should. It's nonsense. It was just
win and have Brock beat him up afterwards.
Yeah,
he's mad that, whatever. But
yeah, it was just so. I don't know, and I just feel like, he came back. We started off with the Rumble. He was the runner-up. He did the chamber thing. They do the turn. That moment is incredible. And then they just fucking whiffed. And I swore again, I'm sorry, but they just whiffed.
What's with the lack of swearing now all of a sudden?
Well, it's not a lack. I'm just trying, I don't want to be swearing every other. I don't want to be swearing every other word. Sometimes I go on a run and it's just, that's all,
Fair. I says new side to you.
No, I'm still the same miserable bastard I've always been. But and there was just a whiff. And Cena's dad was on a podcast and he was talking about it. And he said the moment was great, but the follow-up was lackluster. He actually mentioned The Rock and Travis Scott being involved back then and then not work. But we've already been through. But I'm just saying, like, the match with Orton was fine.
Yeah.
The Logan Paul match was really good. The Cody match at SummerSlam was incredible. And then we run into this, and it's like, all right. And I know a lot of people, including me, were down just on the match happening in general. But then this is what you give us, and it's like, and then you hear the report, like Fernando said, we find out the next day that whether it's true or not, but like, that Cena was originally supposed to win, but then they changed it last minute, and that's what they gave us. It's like, what? It just didn't make sense. And then, Triple H does the spin after the show, and then Cena comes out on social media the second time in this last year where he reiterated, I don't pick my opponents.
Yeah.
Like, he's making it a point now. He's done it more than once. Making it a point, like, don't spin that shit to make it look like it's me, buddy. Because it's not. I don't pick my opponents. I never have. Now, whether that's true or not, I have no idea. All right? But
I would imagine he has some type of say. I think if, like, Trips was like, hey, we're going to have you wrestle, Akira Tozawa, like, he might be like, is that a good use of my last year? No disrespect to Tozawa. He's fantastic. No, but you get what I'm saying. There's levels to this shit. Like,
yeah. And then
It's just like I was gonna say, like before, like again, going into this announcement that he made was that Survivor Series, right? Or yeah, it was last year.
No, Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Yeah, he popped out of Money in the Bank and said that he was going to Survivor. I immediately said whatever he does not really isn't. It's an anomaly thing. So if he would have had 26 appearances left and wrestled 26 times and went 26-0. I would have just been like, who cares? It's John Cena's retirement tour. We're not paying to see that. We're not paying to see him get squashed out by people. We're paying him. He could lose a couple of times. Okay. He could win the title, lose it to Cody. That's fine too. But all that other stuff, like, let him hit the hits, man.
That's what I literally was just going to say. You're paying to see him play the hits. You want him to play the hits and do the swan song, get the encore. See you later. Thanks for everything, John. That's what the people that went to Indianapolis, regardless of how they felt about the opponent, they were there to see John Cena play the hits.
Yeah.
And he finished after 2 songs off the fucking B-sides.
But like
it makes no sense.
And like I said last week, losing to Brock Lesnar would make sense maybe if it was like appearance 12 or 10. This is appearance 2021. He's almost out. And I don't think he might wrestle the last 5. I would assume he's not just but still, but again, it's ESPN, it's a pay-per-view. People who don't watch wrestling know who John Cena is, and they'll tune in to see it because it's Cena. That's why you put it on first. You hope that they saw it. You hope that they stuck around. And if they probably went, oh, and then just clicked it off. Because they also know who Brock Lesnar is too. I would imagine sports was.
And I feel like that, and you said it with how it felt in the building, but I felt like that being first and that match going the way it did, it just set the tone. It just set the tone, and it just set everything off on such a, like, nobody felt good about that. Nobody. I have not met a soul besides trolls on the internet. I have not met a real soul who has felt good about what that was. And then, you run into the Usos getting back together against the Braun Brawns, and they made LA Knight the special guest referee. That match was fine, but that match felt like it should have been on Raw.
They turned it into like a no holds barred situation.
Yeah, like it just felt like that. It could have been a main event of Raw, and I would have been. It would have been fun. It wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad, but it didn't feel like it lived up to the moment. The mixed tag match I thought was fun. I'm not going to sit here and say I thought it was a great match. I thought it was kind of slow and boring at times. But yes, it was fun. Overall, it was fun, and I'm sure when you were there, it was even better. But overall, that was a fun match. I enjoyed that match.
I just thought AJ Lee still had. I think I know there was some rust there, but like, I thought Becky and Seth's part of it too was fantastic. I thought that was such a fun. Like, again, I don't think that's gonna. It could have been. It might have been. It might be one of the best matches of the year, and strictly and just. So I was waiting for somebody. I was waiting for somebody to make that joke. Brian Sullivan's getting more like PALOOZA, Wrestlealooza. Yeah, but I had fun with that. And then of course,
and then you get to the creme de la creme. It's Stephanie and Io, and you knew going in this match was going to rule, and it did. It was easily the best match on the show. It was one of the best matches of the weekend, all in all. It was tremendous. And Stephanie wins.
The right lady.
Yes,
wins.
I agree. No. Stephanie won. She gets her moment. She's with her dad.
Yeah.
They have that moment, which is awesome. And it was a terrific match. And I watched that match with a person who doesn't watch wrestling frequently. And even they were like, that was really good. Like, it was just really, really good.
She, her dad was with her at the press junket as well. Like, he was with her pretty much all weekend, which I think was a really fun thing for her. Yeah, dude, that match really, and that's the thing. Like, that should have been the main event. Now, that's where I was like, I don't really understand why Cody and Drew's the main event. I get it. It's the Undisputed. And this is, I think, where everybody where it really started to dip in terms of morale for the show, because it's like you had Taker come out and you're like, oh shit, Undertaker's here. That's a big name in wrestling circles. He came out, he did the thing with Stephanie, inducts her into the Hall of Fame, or at least announces it. So we're like, oh, Taker's here. That's a big surprise. And then you're like, if Drew and Cody are going to main event,
and that was part of the
there's got to be a big
massive thing happening
at the end, or even with Stephanie and Io, Rhea, Asuka, none of that happened. So you didn't even get Rhea. But the T-shirts that they gave away, and I should have brought it down, had ESPN 316 on it and a Stone Cold skull on the back. Where was he? Is he, for ESPN? So, and then the Cody Drew thing felt like it ran a little quick, and it was a very standard SmackDown main event type match. And it wasn't terrible, but it just, I think after we saw what we saw with Io and Stephanie, everybody was like, oh, and then that's it. And then I don't know if it was on air or not, but Cody cut a promo to the crowd, just thanking everybody for being there and kicking off the ESPN era. And he was happy that they could do it in America, at the crossroads of America in Indiana. And then that was it.
I don't know, man. For me, it felt, and again, hold on, my computer is doing something weird.
I ain't gonna lie to you. They put this show on to counter program All Out, and All Out moved. I bet you All Out would have been just fine.
Listen, and again, I don't want to be these people but yeah, they counter programmed All Out, and I think that they were outperformed drastically.
I don't know what the answers are in terms of what. Again, I don't have the pen. I don't know what goes into booking one of these shows. I just know that if we're going to expect, again, and wrestling fans who only watch wrestling are paying for ESPN to watch one show a month, you're going to have to blow them out of the water to keep them. Mm-hmm. Now, again, I have ESPN Plus, but that's also because I watch college football, college basketball, baseball, all of it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, if that's your best foot forward on your debut show. Now, I know it was rushed. It wasn't a long, but I'm sure we could have figured something. And I also don't know why we didn't think of a way to replace, because the Wrestlepalooza t-shirts had the Jade and Tiffany Stratton match on them.
Oh, it did.
It did. And I know she was injured and they were supposed to have that match at Wrestlepalooza, but we could have found, I'm sure we could have found something else to do. There's United States Championships that you could have used. There's IC title matches that could have happened. I mean, Becky was busy, but Dom wasn't doing anything. So I'm not sure what the thought process there was. I hope that they see this now as an opportunity to go, okay, the next one that we're going to have is going to be this Crown Jewel. Those shows are always kind of upscale because of the, but it's in Perth, so it's going to be huge. And then Survivor Series, hopefully they blow it out of the water there.
I agree. I don't know, man. I just felt like it was just weird, dude. That's all.
It's 2025, and people ain't got a lot of expendable cash these days. And if they're like, well, $30 for that, yeah. But my bias is skewed because I was in the building. So again, just being in there is just like, it's a different experience, and it's a lot more fun to be and watching all the entrances and things like that. So
yeah. And and like you said, once we found out that was the main event, you know how the internet works, and I was one of them. Everyone's like, "Oh shit, something." Yeah, like you said, something. The Rock's gonna show. I thought Drew had a chance to win the title. I was like, "Oh, maybe something's gonna happen," and like the Rock's gonna show up, and Drew will be his new guy, and he's gonna win the title. I was like, maybe something crazy. I'm just trying to think of anything that can happen, and it was just a standard. Drew beats the shit out of Cody for 10 minutes, and Cody wins. And I love Cody. I'm a Cody god. But it was like, what? Why was that the main? I just, everything about it. And I'm like, you said there were going to be major surprises. Yeah. You made a lot of people. And I'm lucky enough that it was not extra money for me because of how I have ESPN. But I'm not there's a lot of people that I just hated all of it.
So by Triple H's definition of major surprises, what's the major surprise?
Stephanie being the choice.
The Undertaker Stephanie segment is the major surprise.
I don't know what else would be. What else was even a surprise?
I mean, Brock squashing John, but that's not like a.
Yeah, we got Jamie on Twitter saying the surprise was the lack of.
Hey, there you go. What's up, Jamie? I heard you did a fun little interview with him. I saw some clips today.
Yeah. I was on the buzz all week.
You better have said nice things about me.
Of course. Come on. Come on. I always say nice things. No, it was fun. Go check that out over on the Hive Media. I believe the full episode is out now, so go check that out.
I thought it was dropping Monday by the tweet I just retweeted.
Maybe. I thought it was but
yeah, Triple H again, and listen, I'm gonna say it. We used to get on Tony Khan about that shit too, where he would go to these press conferences, and it's his job. He's a promoter. He's supposed to say these things. He would say, like, watch out for this big surprise, or I got a lot of things on, and then he would do the major announcement or do the big surprise, and it didn't hit, and we'd be like, Tony, maybe you need to dial that back a little bit, my dude, because you're telling us this major announcement. Now, the one he did on Wednesday I thought was pretty dope, but we'll talk about it. But you remember, he'd be like, oh, my major announcement is we're going to be on HBO. Okay, that's not worthy of, like, a big surprise reveal thing. It's up in about 2 hours. So stay up after this and watch that.
Yeah, so right about when we end, a little bit after that.
There you go.
You can go see clips now.
Maybe Triple H needs to dial it back. And again, it could be us as fans, our fault for expecting too much. I don't necessarily know if in this instance, because of the way that it was presented to us and the way that it was spun as going to be this insanely epic historical moment. It was a historical moment in the sense that it's wrestling on ESPN. After that, that's about where the historical part of it ended. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. What can you do? I guess. But
you could watch All Out, which again, I'm gonna defer most of the All Out opinion to you because I was super duper busy. I've seen enough. I know what went down, but I didn't watch it all the way straight through. But I mean, I saw a certain lady return. Beth Copeland's back. I'm super excited about that, and I love me some Beth Phoenix right here. There she is. She's on the wall, front row and center.
All Out. Well, Dustin's asking, do you think the C rating from ESPN will change anything WWE has had planned?
Now, go ahead.
I'm afraid that WWE is basically going to make ESPN just change the way they review their shows, to be honest with you. I think it was pretty clear to me that WWE, and we talked about it kind of a little while ago, that WWE was not thrilled at that, and I would not be shocked if somebody in TK, and again, I don't think this is a good thing, but I would not be shocked if somebody from TKO / whatever kind of came out and said, not came out, but like, hopefully it got their attention and they start,
It depends on which side you want to look at this, right? ESPN said they have no hand in, because somebody asked them at the media call, it might have been Sean's question or something like that, if ESPN was going to have any creative influence or any like, hey, we need you to do this, and this. And they said no, they were going to keep their hands off and let WWE do what WWE does. Now, we all know that that's what you say when you merge with a company or your company gets bought out by a bigger company. And then eventually, if they're if these shows aren't hitting and the subscription renewals are dying, as we've seen this week in the world of television, if you start canceling subscriptions and money starts getting pulled, people change their tune really quick and their stance tends to change. I would imagine that this is a WWE. I don't think so, Fernando. I don't think ESPN should back off, and this is why. They are paying $1 billion for this. There's a lot of money on the line here.
Yep.
If ESPN starts giving us fake kayfabe reviews, as Jamie is saying, then they're a news site. They don't give me kayfabe fake reviews about the Cubs and the White Sox game or Monday Night Football. I don't see Peyton and Eli on there talking nice about games that they're watching. You know what I'm saying? I don't want ESPN to bow down to WWE because listen, fine, I think ESPN be just fine without them. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think you can't take because the ESPN's going to stop doing Peyton and Eli on Monday night because the NFL's a little butthurt that they called them out. Like no, you want them to, if you want to be treated like a sport, this is part of it.
Yeah.
If the guy that wrote it didn't like the show, or maybe ESPN as a whole liked the show, and the guy that wrote it didn't write the show, then you asked him to write it. I don't know. I don't want to see that where like all of a sudden ESPN's like, this was amazing. This was the greatest moment in wrestling history, because we know it wasn't, and then we'll know that you're writing stuff that's not true.
Yep. And look, that's what it is. Like, listen, like you said, like you have to be objective. You have to be objective. And that guy is a great writer, Andreas Hale. He's a great writer for ESPN. He does a lot of good work for them. He does a lot of good work for a long time for a lot of different places. He watched the show. He knows his shit. He's a good writer. And he saw what most of us saw. It was an average. He didn't give it an F.
Yeah.
He gave it a C, an average show. I think that's being generous. If you want my humble opinion, I probably would have been C-, D+, but I think that's being generous.
Yeah.
And if WWE, and you said it early, if WWE's upset about it, well, guess what? Put on a better show.
Or
make the show better. It's as easy as that.
Yeah. You could make the show better. You could tweak a few things. But I just don't want you going into ESPN and saying you have to write what we want you to write, because you can't have it like, okay, on Peacock, that's one thing, right?
Yeah.
But ESPN is a news source, and Sean said that's why Fox got out of wrestling. That's probably part of it. I also know that I can almost assure you that the Fox college football game that they put on Friday nights is doing better numbers than SmackDown was. SmackDown was consistently one of the worst drawings shows in that time slot. It just happened to be live, but yeah, I don't want to get into the scenario where we're
no,
because that's what people were bitching about the press conferences for. They were saying that everybody was just giving them softball questions and everybody wants it. What do you want us to do? Somebody else is going to write that the show stunk. At the end of the day, ESPN only cares about if people are staying subscribers. How many people cancel their subscription after Saturday?
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
Yeah. And hey, Ope 3-way, how are you, friends? How are you?
Yeah, I'll see them next week.
Oh, dang.
They finally got time to get in, the big stars.
Yeah, I did their show a little while ago. We got to get on there together at some point. We might got to get them on here, I think.
Yeah, we'll have to do that too.
We'll have to kind of do that stuff. But yeah, all right, that's cool. Yeah, no, that was a fun time when I was on there not too long ago. So they're a good group of fellas there. So welcome in. We're talking about Wrestlepalooza. Pluggo was there. He had a good time.
I lived it. It was great. I slept all day Saturday or Sunday because of it.
There we go. Yeah. And then, so that's how I kind of felt about Wrestlepalooza. And again, there's been a lot of talk, like you said, this week about free speech and about things of that type of nature. If you're writing a review on something, you don't want the person making the product to be in control of the reviews, because that you are not giving proper. It's just not the way you want things to go.
And I mean, he was harsh in some of the lines, but he wasn't like, it wasn't like this just absolute, like he absolutely eviscerated him. It was just, he literally wrote, hey, this is what we saw. Like, again, we talked about it. No one on the planet. I don't even think Brock Lesnar himself was happy with what it would, right? Like, I don't think he wanted that for John Cena. The tag match it had its issues, and Jey Uso busted himself open, which kind of made the whole match a different vibe. You said there was a few slow spots in the mixed tag. The women killed it in the championship match, and then the main event felt rushed, and it was just not. It wasn't. It is what it is. Not every show is going to be a 10 out of 10, and it is what it is. You know.
Yeah. And then, like you said, obviously earlier in the day, All Out.
Ope said his Rumble tickets were cheaper.
Literally,
that's not surprising.
It's crazy. Yeah, the show opened with Adam Copeland and Christian against FTR.
Yeah.
Very good tag match. And we saw the return, well, actually the AEW debut, I would say, of Beth Copeland. She came out. She speared the shit out of Stokely Hathaway. And then she kind of carried him out, which then led to
Stoke on Wednesday go,
oh, yeah.
Chivalry's not dead. I let her spear me.
Yeah. I was going up there to actually greet her.
Yeah.
To greet her and say hello. That's what he said. Ope saying it's one person's opinion. Ironic it happened from an ESPN journalist. Absolutely ESPN feeling as a whole. No. People are blowing that out of proportion. 100%. 100%. Yeah, Stokely still gets no hose, I believe. I believe he still gets no
hose.
But yeah, so that opened the show. It was a good tag match. Copeland and Christian get the win. But then really the big thing was after the match, they handcuff Copeland and they beat the crap out of Christian a little bit. And Beth Copeland then comes out and she gets the spike pile driver from FTR, which if you saw the segment on Dynamite last night,
she's dead.
They treated her as such, and they were not sorry. Neither of them were sorry about that. And then we actually saw a backstage segment last night.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, we saw a backstage segment last night, which I think happened. It was recorded at All Out after the match.
Yeah, because Edge or Copeland was leaving Edge.
Yeah.
Shout out to Queen of the Ring. I still call him Edge too.
Yeah, so don't I. She said, I've been saying that on here. I go, I'm going to call him Edge. It's just what I'm going to call him.
Yeah.
And shout out to her for the video that she released today as well.
Yeah.
Not a easy subject to talk about, and I think a lot of people need to go watch that. That might feel, that was some good stuff, and we've got to experience some cool times with her. She's a great person, shout out to them. Shout out to them. So she gets the spike pile driver. Edge has to watch it. And then so we see a backstage segment where he goes back there and Christian's like, he's like, hey man, I gotta go. And Christian's like, what? And he goes, I gotta go. Like, I got a family to protect. I got stuff going on. Like, I gotta go. And Christian was like, and Christian goes, well, I lost my family.
Well,
like,
Cole basically said, like, I can't keep doing this to my family. I can't keep putting them through this. I'm out of here. And I don't know if I'm coming back. And then that's when Christian was like, I lost my family. And Edge is like, you got a family.
You got a family.
Which the internet ran super duper wild with that today, which I wanted to break. I want you to try to take off your logic hat for a minute. How badass would it be of a move of Tony Khan to be like, yes, you can have Edge for one season?
It would never happen. It
would never happen, but how cool would it be? Stop being that guy.
Oh, it would be the best. That's, in my opinion, Edge is John Cena's greatest rival. And it's him and CM Punk for me. I know Orton's up there too, but for me, him and CM Punk are my two favorite John Cena rivals. It would be incredible, but like Fernando said, Copeland's under a contract through October of next year, I believe. So it's not gonna happen. Although with the way that WWE has been trying to treat AEW, I think it would actually make Tony Khan look real good if he was like publicly was like, I would allow Adam Copeland to go wrestle one match.
But I also
I would allow WWE. I don't think would take him up on the offer.
Hear me out. Hear me out. I actually think they might. And again, I'm throwing out logic PSA, disclaimer, whatever you want to do. This is logic out the window. But WWE just had a really rough week with PALOOZA.
Sure did.
You're telling me that wouldn't be a moment where you just go, you know what? I know we've been this, that, and the other, but could we get Edge for just one? And can we do it, Tony Khan? Can we put our Dukes down for one night or whatever it may be? And that would earn so much goodwill back with WWE fans. They'd be like, oh, snap. Like
it would be a cool thing.
It would
never happen, but it would be very cool.
And then after that December 13th match, where it's the final match, Cena and Edge, you go back to fight each other.
Yeah. And I one thing I will say is in that tag match, Scott just brought it up. So during the Logan Paul match with Cena, he did the Edge. He went in the corner and he did the Edge spear, and he was doing all, stuff like that. During the tag match, Edge did the 5-knuckle shuffle in the attitude adjustment, and got a 2.9 out of it. And I got teary-eyed. I
did also see somebody over the last week, and I don't remember what who the tweet was. I should have saved it. Where they were like, John Cena said he's retiring from WWE. He should do like a 3-match run with AEW because they'll give him the proper.
The day he retires from in-ring, he's already under a Legends contract for the rest of his life.
Could you imagine? He just shows up at Revolution.
He's like, you know what? I did my last year at WWE, but I need one more match with this guy.
And then he gets
Edge. One more time with Edge.
Who else?
That's about it. I mean, nobody else. I mean, Jericho, but they didn't really have a big run. They never.
Yeah, you could do it,
right?
Yeah.
So no, it's only.
I know.
It's only cool.
I know.
So that was really cool, in my opinion. That was my second favorite part of All Out. We'll get to my first favorite a little bit later. But that was a really, really cool moment with him doing that. And then the next morning, John Cena on his Instagram, he just put a picture of Edge. And I was like, God damn, man. I was like that. I looked at that. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah,
but
anyway. So, hey, listen, Trips, TK, let's figure this out. I'm sure there's something we could do here.
I'm going to be honest with you. I know it. Obviously, Triple H is the guy running the WWE shows and stuff like that. I think a lot of the decisions that are being made are not necessarily decisions he would only make. I think it's a TKO. He's obviously part of it, don't get me wrong, but I feel like if it was just him running things, I don't necessarily know if they'd be making every decision that they've been making.
Sure.
As far as some of those things go.
This is just one that tickles my fancy in a way that I think we joke about it for years, and we've talked about all these like crossovers, and you see the tweets, you see the posts, but this would be one where it's like, I think it would benefit both sides. It would be a way of saying like, yes, we're competition, and yes, we are at each other's throats, but this is bigger than both of us. This is one of the hits and it would just be one of those things. I obviously know that it'll never happen, but when it does, I hope I'm there to be like, oh yeah, I called that a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I think the rumor mill is that Edge has some injury time, or he's filming some stuff for his. Yeah. He's got some filming stuff left to do, so he'll be out for a little while, but I'm sure he'll be back. Because that was cool to see Beth there. That's the other. We're not talking a lot about Beth being there. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it was just a one-off deal. I don't know if she's going to plan on maybe mixing it up with some people. But the way Willow was talking about her in the promo last time,
that was great.
Made me think like it would be super cool.
I would love to see Beth and Willow versus FTR. Imagine that.
But I would just love to see Beth Phoenix wrestling with some of these talents. Like, why not? Like somebody said Megan Bain earlier. Like, why not? Like, You're telling me you don't want to see Statlander versus Beth Phoenix or Beth Copeland? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
I loved Willow coming out and saying, you know, women like Beth Phoenix are the reason why I started wrestling. And then she looked right at FTR and said, women like Beth Phoenix are the reason why girls like me don't take shit from guys like you. And I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, fuck yeah, Willow. That was a badass line. That was a badass line. So that was a good start to the show. Then we went right into Eddie Kingston making his triumphant return. He looked good. Looked to be in the best, you know, you could tell he was a little slow at first, like, you know, getting the leg from under him. But then as that match went, that was a good, nice little return match for him. And you knew he was going to win. Then they did the little post-match angle with Brian Keith, and Hook came out to save him. So now we have a tag match on Collision on Saturday with Eddie Kingston and Hook teaming up against Big Bill and Brian Keith. So they're doing that. That was fun. And then we had this tables and tacks match with Briscoe and MJF. Holy shit, man. Yeah, man. I said it. I was doing the watch along on the Hive with Peggy, and I said it. I said, I think thumbtacks would still be the only thing I would not agree. I would be like, no, not doing it. No, I can't. Not doing it. You want to hit me with the chair, kendo stick, throw me off something? Cool. Yeah. I'm not landing in thumbtacks, bro. I don't think I can do it.
I've asked a few deathmatch wrestlers in my day, you know, whatnot about it, and that's one of the few things that they just go, there's no real good way to prepare for it, because there's also no real good way to, like,
how do you practice that?
Practice it or gimmick it, as they say. You know, you just, like, because if you were to, like, take the pointy part off of the thumbtack, that actually is going to hurt you more going in. So yeah. Oh, and there were so many fucking tacks.
Oh, it's incredible. There was the whole ring was fucking covered in them. In the press conference, TK said it was at least 1,000. He didn't know the exact number, but it was at least 1,000.
Had it more.
Dude, shit was
how they
nuts.
were able to get rid of all of them and not have any just pop up.
That's what I was saying. I was saying if I was scheduled next, I would be going to Tony Khan and I'd be like, I swear to Christ that every fucking tack. If I land, it was the 6-way with the Hurt Syndicate and Ricochet and God.
I can see Bobby Lashley being like, listen, dude.
If I land and a fucking tack is in me, I'm fucking murdering someone when I come back here. That's how I would feel.
I can see Ricochet being like, nah, dog, you better get rid of that shit.
No way. No, you show as many vignettes as you fucking need to make sure that there is not one damn tack out there. Because if I land in a tack, I'm punching you in the face.
Take a magnet out there, pick them all up.
Oh my word! But it was a terrific match it was violent, but it was great. And Mark Briscoe, I thought he should win. We talked about it last week. I felt like he needed to win, and this was, Fernando says, his best match. This was his signature win in AEW, beating a guy like MJF. This was huge. I think that this should propel Briscoe up into the main event scene. Even more than they've kind of been doing over the last little bit.
I mean, we need a Hangman Briscoe match just out of respect from Hangman's side to be like, thank you for everything. Because MJF last night basically said he's going to go away for a little bit, but that's obviously to film his movie. But he basically said, like, I shouldn't be losing to a guy like Mark Briscoe, and I don't know what to do with and I love that. I think an unhinged, unsure of himself MJF, where he's going, he's going to come back guns blazing, man. It's going to be great. Yep. And yes, Ope said a win over MJF means a lot, because 100%. MJF does not lose that. And I said that
he doesn't lose on pay-per-view often.
He doesn't lose on pay-per-view often. And if he does, it's not usually to somebody that we consider maybe lower than him on the totem pole, so to speak. Not to say Mark Briscoe's bad bitey slouch, but obviously, again, there's levels to this. But yeah, no, that's a huge match. It was crazy, gross.
Brutal, dude. Brutal.
So many tacks.
So that was good. Then
many schools could have used those tacks for their bullets.
Teachers need school supplies too. Like, it's just such a waste.
AEW.
Imagine you were where were they? They were in Toronto. Imagine you were a teacher in Toronto and you were like, I got to run to the store and get some tacks for Monday, and you're like, oh, we sold out of all the tacks. What do you mean?
The city of Toronto is tackless.
Yeah, AEW came and they bought 4,000. What the hell?
Brandon Cutler
What's
was
up?
in here grabbing a bunch of
Son of a
tags.
bitch. Just be pissed. But no, that was good though. Then that led into the trios match between, they call themselves the Demand now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona against the Hurt Syndicate. And this went exactly the way that I thought it would go. It was a back and forth match, and I thought that Ricochet would get the pinfall victory over MVP, and that's how it kind of went. I thought the Demand needed a signature win as well. A few people did on this card that ended up with Briscoe and these guys I thought needed wins, and I thought they got wins. This was a fine match. It was shorter. It wasn't anything like spectacular, but it was a much needed win for the new group. I think they had to win to kind of solidify them as a group. We saw them on Dynamite. They had a world tag team title match against Brodito. That was a good match to kind of open the show, be the first match of the show.
I thought that was a little quick to give them that match, though. I know
Thought
Ricochet.
so too.
I
But
thought
he explained it on commentary, didn't he?
Yeah, Ricochet basically said that they had a trios match lined up, but with Shibata being out,
yes,
this was the next best thing. But then it's like you just gave him a big signature win, and then they lose. And I got to be honest with you, I thought Bandito was having way too much fun out there last night.
Bandito's incredible.
He's so good, but he was being kind of silly and goofy. Like he wasn't. And again, I'm not. It didn't feel like he wasn't taking it serious in real life. Like I think that was part of how they produced the match.
Yeah,
but I was
sure.
But then they take the loss to a guy who's kind of just vibing out there. It's like, oh man, poor guys. But hey, I like them getting a win. I actually think that those three are fun together.
Oh yeah, I like them a lot. I actually think that, like Fernando said, I think if the Shibata thing didn't happen, and I do think they will be the next trios champs. I think that is a good spot for them to be those trios champs, solidify their group, and kind of run the trios division and fight every week or so. Maybe put those titles up for grabs a lot and win and have good matches. I think that's actually a really good spot for them. Yeah. So let's hope that it happens, because I do feel like that is the next destination for them for sure. After that, we had the TBS title match, Mercedes and Riho. I thought that I know people were concerned about what the quality of this match was going to be, because Riho didn't look the greatest in that tag match that we saw. Yeah. But I thought this match was pretty good. I didn't think it was.
This is one I hadn't seen yet, but you can tell me about it. I don't know everything on it.
Yeah, I don't think it was Mercedes' best match in her run here, but that is fine. I thought it was actually a better match than I thought it was gonna be going into it. But Mercedes won. It was good, but it was kind of standard fare in my opinion. When it came to, they're clearly gonna keep it was solid. Yeah, it was a solid. It was a solid to good match.
Yeah,
she's gonna beat Jade's record. Yeah, that's what they're waiting for. But then I think she needs to get rid of it. That belt needs to go to and again, I don't say this to demean the title, but Mercedes is above the TBS title. She's above the TBS title, especially now that we're going to talk about in a few matches what happened in the main event, the women's heavyweight title side of things. I just feel like Mercedes needs to be in that atmosphere.
It was the same thing that happened to Jade.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Jade's skill set and Mercedes are two different things. So I'm just talking in terms of title reigns here. But like Jade ran through the roster 2 or 3 times, and you're just like, why isn't she challenging Britt Baker at the time? Why isn't she up there with Britt and Thunder, getting in the mix there? We're keeping her down here for whatever reason, and then she just ultimately she ended up leaving. I don't think Mercedes is going to do that in the sense that, at least right now, her contract, the way it's structured, but she's ran through everybody. There's really they're either running into a situation they don't know how to end it, or that's probably what it is. They just don't know how to end it where it would be like, oh, that's believable.
I mean, in my opinion, they've already had multiple ways to end it, but they just didn't, because they want her to beat the record,
Like, why not Willow? Like, why can't we run back Willow and Mercedes? Willow get it.
Yeah, and I love the Alex Windsor stuff. I thought was really good. I thought Windsor was somebody that could have taken it from her. I still think Athena, if they want to run that back, I think Athena could take it from her.
Yeah, Jamie
Hayter's a good pick. I got a ton of, and again, the announcement that Tony Khan made last night on Dynamite is that we are finally getting the women's tag team titles. They showed the belts. They look nice. They kind of are that kind of TBS title design ilk, it looked like, but they're nice looking. So that opens up the division of ladies to even more. Now we're going to, I know. And now we're going to start seeing tag team matches. Hopefully that can guarantee us more than one women's match at Dynamite, for crying out loud.
Yeah, they got a lot of women's tag team options. They've been building the division slowly over the last year, especially. They've ramped it up. I mean, you got the Triangle of Madness, you got all those all-stars that Queen Aminata, who I'm blanking on their names. My goodness, I make a good point that I forget their names. But Jamie Hayter's in the mix. Alex Windsor, that's a tag team if you wanted at the time before Statlander won, which was crazy. Willow and Stat, if you ever wanted to get them back together, there's so many options here. And now with Mercedes, like, I don't know if this means like she's going to keep the belt now that we have another belt for the women to fight for, or she's interested. She tweeted that she's looking for a tag partner. She wants that gold. Yeah. I mean, that'd be fun. I hope Tony Khan doesn't do the easy way out and rope in the world champions into the tag team title division. I agree. Like they did at the other company, because that was it was cool for a minute when it was Sasha Banks and Bayley, but when it becomes what you rely on, give some of these undercard women a shot. Yep, like Sky Blue and Julia would be fantastic. Anna Jay and Tay Mello, Harley Cameron. You got Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. They plenty of options. There are plenty of options. Britt Baker's not doing anything. Thunder Rose is not doing anything. Nyla Rose isn't doing. I mean, I can go on for days. Yeah, 100%. I think I don't know if Britt's. It was in Pittsburgh last night, and she wasn't there. So listen, we'll see. We then had what a match this was. 3-way match for the Unified Championship. Kazuchika Okada defeats Konosuke Takeshita and Mascara Dorada. Mascara Dorada looked like an absolute star. Renegade Twins is another good pull for Nando. Mascara Dorada looked like an absolute star in this match. They made him look like $1 million. You knew he was taking the pinfall, though. You knew he was taking the fall. Sure. But, like, they made him look tremendous. He's only 23 years old, that guy. Holy moly. Takeshita and Okada. He doesn't look it. Oh, no. He's got a mask on. But yeah, he doesn't look it. No. Takeshita, in my opinion, might be, we had SP3 on here last week, and he was very emphatic that Takeshita was the best wrestler in the world, on the planet Earth, and it is hard to argue many other than him. Dorado was the MVP of this match for sure, but all three of these guys, this match was very, very good. We all know we're getting at Wrestle Dream. It's going to be Takeshita and Okada one-on-one. God, I need it. I fucking need it. This was a nice little tease with Dorada in the mix here, getting a ton of offense. No business, but I did not mind, Scott. I thought it was tremendous. Actually think that was probably because, again, we talked about it last week, especially me, and I said we didn't even need him here. Like, this is what, but I think that's probably why they let him get. They didn't want Takeshita and Okada doing too much with each other because he was the foil. Yeah, so then that way, we got the teases. Wrestle Dream, we're gonna get it all. Yes, and yes, Fernando, Takeshita should beat Okada. He should. But we will see. Yeah. But I think when you saw the match play out, that it played out, I think that's exactly was it, Pluggo. Like, they did not want they wanted the teases. Like, obviously, Takeshita and Okada were going to be, they're in the match. They're going to be physical with each other. But they wanted short little snippets of it just to tease us, get us ready. This is the appetizer, baby. Exactly. And Dorada was used the way he was used with that much type of offense so they could stay as separated as they could. That was really good. That was really, really good. In my opinion, I thought that was the best match of the night. But there were a lot of good matches. The next match I thought was good too. I did not think that would be the finish with Moxley winning. I thought that this was another type of match that Darby kind of needed. I won't even say kind of. I thought Darby needed to win this. Yeah. But he didn't. Moxley won, obviously, with some bullshit. We saw the returning Pac with a new haircut, by the way. Yeah. The short hair Pac. I think he's more menacing with the
I
short
think he
hair.
is too.
Honestly.
I think he is too.
I saw that and I was like, he looks more intimidating. But yeah, and then you couple that with Dynamite yesterday, where
I'm surprised you waited this long to say it and talk about it.
I was
Darby
gonna,
showed up with,
I was gonna set the mood. A motherfucking flamethrower, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we get down here? He basically said, "You and me at Wrestle Dream in an I Quit match." And Darby's not done with Mox, and God, Mox's ear was all taped up, and he was bleeding out. I don't know what they're gonna do in an I Quit match. I just don't know.
Yeah,
it's gonna get gross, man.
It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be gross.
I'm pretty sure Darby could die. I don't normally say that in jest, but I think there's a chance that there's probably like a 7% chance Darby could die.
I don't know, man. I've been saying since that dude started wrestling for AEW, like
it's crazy.
It only escalates.
It's crazy.
Like can we see it just a technical wrestling? We're not going to see it just a technical wrestling match, like him and Zack Sabre Jr., where he doesn't have to get into a coffin or something. Like, can we get one of those matches out of him? That would be a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, Darby Allin's just a catch can wrestler.
Yeah.
Just an absolute banger.
Yeah,
Pac being back is a good thing, though. I agree, Ope. I said last week I think him being back would be great. I thought the Daniel Garcia inclusion would give him an opportunity to maybe do something else, but it looks like he's back at the Death Riders where he belongs. So
yeah,
I'm here for it. Hopefully he could stay healthy.
I was going to say, yeah, he's had a run of bad luck with issue. Like he comes back and then he's gone again. So hopefully he can be back for an extended period of time and they can really do some cool stuff with him because he's one of the best in the world when he's healthy and good and going. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, Pac wearing clothes as well. So it's not just the haircut, but he's also clothes.
That's true. If you don't recall at the AEW press conference he was the only dude there in full gear.
Yeah, very very weird.
He's just everybody's like, oh yeah, Pac's here.
Yeah,
he's just chilling.
He just shows up in full gear. Yep. We then had, which I thought was really the only true surprise of the night, is we had a 4-way for the AEW Women's World Championship. It was Timeless Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Tekla, and the winner and new AEW Women's Champion, Chris Statlander. We were talking last week. I said that I thought if there was going to be a surprise on the show, it would be in this match, but I still picked Tony because I wasn't confident in that. But they gave us the surprise. Chris Statlander, well-deserved, day one. But that was a shock. I did not see that one coming at all.
Yeah, it surprised me. I mean, it stopped me dead in my tracks pre-Palooza there when I was kind of getting everything set up. I was like, oh, shit, they put it on Stat. And which Toni Storm, if it's because she's going to take some time off or she's going to refocus, maybe her and Alex Windsor might go into the tag division. Because that'd be a fun, legitimate team to do it. Because you do need some legitimate stars in there to make it relevant. But yeah, Stat's day one or close to it. She's never won it. Hell, at that promo she cut last week, she said she hadn't even had a match for it in 2 or 3 years. So that was a really cool thing to see. We'll see what kind of title reign she's going to have. She already fought. She had an open challenge just like Hangman on Dynamite there. It's Mina Shirakawa. She's already got a win under her belt. But yeah, super big surprise. Good for her, man.
Yeah, 100%.
If it wasn't Tony, I don't know if we were ready for Tekla yet. That was one that I was like, if you wanted to strap a rocket to somebody, but I think Stat was the right choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And it opens up, it opens up the division a little bit more. Statlander has had feuds with a lot of people, and we can you can always revisit Mercedes at some point, the Willow stuff. There's a lot of cool things they can do. I'm happy for Stat. Like you said, she already has the first defense under the belt as they main evented Dynamite last night.
Flipped off Jon Moxley and lived to tell about it. Good for her.
She did. And they're still leaning with that, with Yuta being around, and they still want her to join. And her kind of last night, it seemed like that was really the F you. I'm not joining. Stop trying. But I don't think it's the end of this. I think they really are going to. Now that she's the champ, because I thought she was going to come close and lose, and that would be the thing that like caused her to go join the. But now that she's the champ, do you think she joins them at some point, or do you think now it's like where are you? What do you think happened?
Scott's saying that's great. The seatbelt pin combination thing, yeah, that was gnarly. I'll say this before I say anything else at all. If Chris Statlander beats the absolute brakes off of Harley Cameron, I will forever be anti-Chris Statlander. Leave my dear, sweet, precious Harley Cameron alone. She's fantastic. They teased it yesterday. She kind of looked like she was thinking about it. Yuta was very excited and celebrated with her, and then Mox got in the ring and she flipped Mox off and immediately bailed and ran up
She
the
double
stairs.
burdened him. She double burdened
in his face and then ran. Now, I saw a bunch of people saying that I think that it's still eventually going to come. Again, she's at the top now. She's at the top. What's she going to do to stay at the top? Again, if I was Tony Khan, now I'm throwing in. If I'm writing a story where like the whole rosters now come, because let's be honest, not everybody can go toe to toe on the mic in promos with Toni Storm. She's one of the best. Statlander's not quite to that level. Just you could have some really like people just coming at her and having some, and she's just like, almost like a crash out situation with Io Sky and the other roster where like every time she turned around, there's somebody, in her face wanting a shot. Like, oh, that would be fun. And then she just snaps and she's like, well, now I'm going to link up with these Death Rider people because that way I can ensure I win. I thought she was going to do it a long time ago.
Yeah.
I'm
I still
surprised
think,
I
still think she ends up in there. I still think she ends up in there. That's the vibe I get. But now that she's the champ, though, I am a little bit not as sure of it. But I still think Endgame is her getting in there somehow.
When's the last time we had like a heel women's champion in AEW?
Mariah May.
Mariah May. Yeah, that wasn't
because it was her then Tony.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of where it was. But
that's true.
I would say not involving the Tony Mariah stuff. It was probably Britt.
Yeah, Britt. She was facing off against Thunder Rosa during that run,
right? Well, Britt was a heel because Thunder Rosa was the champ for a small little bit.
Yeah.
Then it kind of, the Mariah May Tony thing stretched over almost,
Because Statlander right now is a baby face.
Nyla Rose was a heel when she was champ.
Yeah. I'm just saying, is it time that we get a heel women's champion run going? And that way to do that would be to join the Death Riders. Or do we keep Stat as a baby face and see how it works? Maybe that's what they're doing. See how I don't know how long Chris Statlander is. They have her slated to be the women's champion. I don't know if this was more of this is an appreciation for everything you've done moment, and then you lose it by World's End, or if this Death Rider thing, if they really have some more storyline to it. So we'll see. It's interesting.
After that, we went to the 4-way ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, and when that saw Brodito successfully defend against the Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and Don Callis. I mean, this match was really, really good. Tremendous ladder match, back and forth. The spots were crazy. Double table spots, all the ladders and stuff like that. I felt like that this match legitimately had me believing that every team was going to win this match throughout this match. Like there was one moment in this match where I was like, holy crap, Jet Speed's going to do it. And then I was like, holy crap, they're going to give it to Hechicero and Alexander. Oh, my God, the Bucks are going to – every team they convinced me at some point in this match was going to be the team that won. I had picked Jet Speed, but I was not displeased to see Brodito retain. This was a fun time, a car crash from the onset, as you would imagine. This was a good time. This was a good time that saw Brodito. And then we saw Brodito again defend those titles last night against the GOA.
And you want to talk about burying companies. Danielson this whole match is like, go for the tag titles. You're standing right there.
Danielson is so real on the desk that he's almost too real at times.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's fun. I think it's a good change of pace. I don't know how I would feel if he just glossed past those things where he's just like, oh, he's setting up for a spot, because I think it's cool. But I also think though, like you've got Danielson there. He's doing commentary. You know that's the type of commentary he's going to do. I would love to see some of those wrestlers like him mentor them and be like, when I'm calling your match and I'm watching you eye level with championships on a belt, like you've got to make it make sense to the people watching because I'm calling it out. Everybody's seeing it. So I think that there's still some work that they could do there in a good way. I think it's an interesting thing. But yeah, that was really funny during this whole thing. Like, calm down, Danielson. You called him out.
Yeah, truly.
We need to see I call him Brodito now. Bandito flip off this ladder before he gets some championships. We need
That's
to
true. Yeah, it's true. And then that led us to the main event of the evening. It was the longest match on the show. They went 38 minutes. Hangman Adam Page defeats and retains the AEW World Championship by defeating Kyle Fletcher. Tremendous match, as you would expect. I don't think the victor was ever in doubt by anybody. I think we all kind of knew Hangman was going to win this one, but it was a good match. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought even Kyle Fletcher was beating the shit out of Hangman Page for the majority of this match. Like he was beating the crap out of him. And then Hangman obviously gets the victory and he looked great in victory, but Fletcher got a ton of offense in this match. And then we but it was a really good spot for him. They made him look terrific. We've been talking at length for what feels like a year about how good Kyle Fletcher is. This match was tremendous. And then we see Fletcher is going after the TNT championship now. He challenged for the TNT championship next week at the 6th anniversary of Dynamite. So I will be
Fletcher challenged for the TNT championship. He is, I believe, the TNT champion.
Oh no! Wait, yeah, no, yeah. So he challenged to defend it. Yeah, that's
okay. I was like, wait a minute.
No, did he lose it? He challenged someone to fight for it. He challenged someone to fight.
Yeah, Fletcher is a stud, Sullivan. Yes. Fletcher. This was what I think we all expected. This, like you said, it was the next guy, the next. Like this is Tony Khan and AEW pivoting off of maybe some other plans that they had and saying, hey, this is our dude. He's gonna crush it. Like, oh god, I love Kyle Fletcher. I love Hangman. I thought this was great stuff. I just saw that the Hardys and 3D or Team Dudley's made it official for a tables, ladders, and chair match at Bound for Glory. So
we will be official. In the building.
They signed the contract, so to speak, tonight.
Yes. He challenged Hologram because he said Hologram has the biggest undefeated streak in AEW, so Fletcher probably will beat him.
Interesting.
He'll get that first. I believe that's happening. Yeah, next week on the 6th anniversary Dynamite.
Yeah, so. They were running out of excuses not to give Hologram title shots because he just kept racking up wins.
Yeah. So now I assume Kyle Fletcher will hand him his first loss, and then we'll kind of go from there. But again, I thought All Out was good. I thought it was another. AEW really doesn't miss with their pay-per-views. I didn't think that this was like one of their best ones that they put on or anything like that. But it was a really, really good show. A lot of good matches, as you would expect. The Toronto crowd lulls at times, but they were loud, they were hot, they were ready for the show. And AEW gave them a show to remember. And I feel like, again, when you look at the quality of show that happened in the afternoon compared to what we saw at night, I just thought, they're doing this counter programming stuff, and I almost feel like it's backfiring on them a smidge because AEW is just putting out better quality on these days. And this was the first time that it was a main roster thing on the same time. And again, there's only one thing, but I felt like, again, and I'm not doing this in a we're not doing this in a tribalistic way, but if you're comparing both the shows, I think it was
Oh, I thought Wrestlealooza was.
I just thought it was incomparable.
Part of it, like again, and it was we knew All Out's one of the biggest shows on AEW's calendar. They didn't have to like empty the clip, so to speak, as I like to say, to get. They had the afternoon to themselves. They did their thing. It went well, and then it was up to WWE to not drop the ball, so to speak, at night. You want to be the last thing people talk about. You also want to be the last thing people talk about in a good way, and it just didn't. What? I just saw the Slack. What?
Oh, Victory Road for TNA. We're gonna talk a little bit about TNA.
Okay, we will. But
yeah, we'll do that then. Yeah, we'll do that.
But yeah, it just you got to be the good. You got to be the thing. Like you got to leave me. You got to leave me in Indianapolis going, wow. Like you should have wowed whoever was there. You should have wowed the ESPN crowd. You should have pulled out all the stops. You should have emptied the clip because you have the ability to do that. We've seen you do it. I don't know, again, what goes into all the logistics of booking this thing. I know you want to stay kind of true to your stories, but it was one of those things where I think All Out just had to keep, and again, I've said it before, pigs get fed and hogs get slaughtered. At some point, you're at the top. I was thinking about this the other day. Remember when we were younger, the big and I don't remember all the, technical sides of this stuff, but remember, like, oh my God, the Attitude Era, like DX, NWO, like the moments that we talk about fondly or not, we signed a big deal with ESPN.
Yeah.
We got this partnership here. We're merging with TK. It was the moments in the ring, and I think WWE has gotten a little bit away from like, we need to start creating some like buzz within the show, and not so much relying on like, oh yeah, we billions of dollars, we doing this, we're doing that. Like, yeah, we know that's awesome, and that came from all the cool stuff you used to do. Do that again. Give me something to, and AEW right now, they have their flaws. They're doing that. Mm-hmm. They're giving you that memorable Edge moment and Christian moment at the beginning. They're giving you the Fletcher Hangman 38-minute main event where they're showing you our top guy and the guy that we think is going to be next. So, and then WWE's like, well, we're printing money, and that's our big selling point. It's like, okay. I don't know. That's my 2 cents on that.
No, I think that's a really good way to put it, because it does feel like the biggest moments of this year that we've seen, like obviously the AJ return.
Sure. Yeah, there's some
but like
cool...
it does feel like if you were to ask WWE, like, hey, what were your biggest moments of this year? Their answers would be, well, signing the ESPN deal was a huge moment for us. Doing this, start debuting on Netflix with Raw was a big deal. Yeah. Which they are big deals, yes, but those aren't those are not the moments that, like, again, 20 years from now, again, you and I are of the same age. We're either 40 or approaching 40, right? When I think about 20 years ago or 25 years ago when I was watching wrestling, like the moments I remember are Stone Cold in the beer truck and Stone Cold stunning Vince for the first. I don't remember. Oh, remember that time that Raw went to TNN and was on TNN? That deal they signed with Spike. Remember that? I don't know. Yeah. I don't remember that. I remember Stone Cold driving a Zamboni through fucking the and jumping off and attacking Vince. I remember, Kane debuting at the Hell in a Cell. Those are the moments that I remember. I don't remember. In WWE, they had the moments, the Cena turn, the AJ Lee stuff. But when Triple H sits down at these pressers, like that's not the first thing he's talking about. He's like, we had a big gate, we had our record this, record that, which I know he's supposed to do. But if you sat down and you asked Tony Khan, he's talking about, did you see Fletcher and Hangman? And then he gets into the other stuff. So like I said, make it make sense about money. It's all about money, but at least humor me and make it like you're still a fan. Yeah, 100%. I don't know. But so that was All Out. That was the wrestling weekend. Again, and there are people that like the WWE show. Again, I thought the EO Stephanie match was brilliant. I had a good time with the mixed tag. I thought everything else was raw quality or worse. We talked about it at length. We don't need to talk about it, but that John Cena business was absolute rubbish. It was absolute rubbish. It was an embarrassment and a waste of John Cena when we are dwindling down the days. It was just brutal. Brutally bad.
Maybe Cena needs to speak up now and pick his opponent.
Well, yeah, because we haven't really talked about that. We started to, but we didn't. But like, so
Yeah.
all this crap is going on about the negativity coming out of Wrestlepalooza and all that stuff. And then John Cena goes to social media and he basically says he puts the hashtag Cena Styles or Cenaverse Styles or whatever.
Yeah.
And he basically calls his shot. He says, I don't really pick my opponents, but I feel like this is right. And he called out Triple H. He said, Triple H, make it happen. Then that picked up some buzz. Oh, Pluggo, hold on.
Mrs. Pluggo's in the house. Hi, honey. How you doing? How's it going? Surprised she's still up.
Here we go.
She was sleeping. She had a long day today.
So that all happens, and then we find out that WWE makes it official about 24 hours later that at Crown Jewel in Perth next weekend, not next weekend, 2 weekends from now.
Yeah, the 11th.
The 11th.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. for us. John Cena will be going one-on-one with AJ Styles. Another good feud for Cena in the later years of Cena. So we will be seeing that one. I think this is a do-good. I feel like that this is a do-good for what we saw. Who knows? This could have always been planned. I have no idea. But it feels like it feels like kind of a do-good though to me.
Unless AJ Styles absolutely squashes out John Cena.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
It's all part of the plan.
But that is going to be good. That is going to be really great. It should be good. Again, the last 2 matches that Cena had before this Brock one were really, really good with Logan and Cody.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting this one to be good. AJ Styles can have a great match with a broom.
Yeah.
We've seen what these two can do. They still have one of the best Royal Rumble matches of all time. I was it 2018, something like that, somewhere around there. They had that fantastic Royal Rumble match for the title. I would have had AJ win, but regardless, the match was a classic.
I know we're not going to talk too much about him in that. But what does Brock Lesnar go from here now?
Hopefully home.
Right, but if not, then like, what are we doing with him? He squashes out John Cena, aka the last real champion.
Destroyed our
run
truth.
it?
Well,
does he run it back with Cody? Because where does Cody go?
He better know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, did you hear? Okay, so
Brock and Seth maybe because Heyman came out with. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, what do we do here? Like, what was the purpose?
Let's go home. Show up at the Rumble in Saudi, babe. Whatever you want to do that. Show up at the Rumble in Saudi. Go
that's
home.
That's the next time. Next time we'll see him.
I would hope. Well, I don't know why we would see him before that.
That's what I'm like. Okay, like what do we do with him now? Now that he got, because that's what Triple H said. He said John Cena specifically asked for Brock Lesnar on the retirement tour.
Denied it twice now. Though.
Did I see it denied it twice?
I don't pick my opponents. He said.
But yeah, so maybe that's the end of it. Maybe it was a one-off. I don't know.
Maybe. So we are getting that in Perth. What else is going on? There was a bunch of little news nuggets that came out today. I had my list here.
Yeah.
God dang.
Oh, the TNA invaded NXT, which is really cool to see.
Yep. They were all there. Matt Cardona was there, got a huge pop. The Iconics, I know they're not that anymore, but the Iconics were there.
Alexander.
Yeah, Cedric Alexander was there. Mance Warner was in the crowd. Cool. I was like, that's dope. I saw him and I was like, fuck yeah.
That's definitely somebody I never thought I'd see on WWE television.
Yeah. So they all, it's because we had the main event was Obafemi versus Trick Williams. It was champion versus champion, winner take all. TNA champion versus NXT champion. Mike Santana showed up. He joined commentary about halfway through the match. And then we started seeing all the TNA people that I mentioned, plus a few more making their way in. And then all hell broke loose. The match was a no contest. It was a big invasion. They started beating the crap out of them. And we kind of saw Ricky Saints kind of not even paying attention to that. And then him and Oba had a little face-off to kind of end the show. But I thought it was a good piece of business. We have Victory Road tomorrow happening in Edmonton. I don't know if we'll see any NXT presence to kind of answer, because after Victory Road, the next event, which is their WrestleMania, is Bound for Glory in 2 weeks. In my neck of the woods, you'll be flying in, and we'll be kind of doing that dance together, which I'm very excited about.
I'm sure we'll see some kind of involvement, and then maybe we'll see like a Survivor Series type. Like you get what was that? Oh my god, they did it. It was a few earlier this year. They had like the cage with the Hardys, the Nemeths were in there, Neon Slater. Maybe they do some kind of scenario like that where they get like a 5-on-5 cage team situation going or something. Settle it once and for all. You got to get the title off Trick if you're TNA. I don't know how you do that right now.
Santana.
Yeah, but so maybe Santana versus, is that the move and we don't even worry about this invasion, or are we going to see some real warfare?
Well, there was a report today by multiple outlets that said that WWE is very interested. They're very interested in getting an invasion like pay-per-view with TNA, like doing like a special kind of. So with the invasion,
you mean like a brand versus brand supremacy pay-per-view, also known as Survivor Series?
Yeah, but yeah.
Don't they already do that once a year, where all of a sudden everybody cares about the brand that they're on?
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I get what you're saying. That'd be cool. I would be down with that. Oh, Lethal Lockdown TNA is the TNA version. I just remember I watched it because it was one of those. SmackDown was pre-taped, and I already knew everything that happened, so I watched it instead this summer. But it was cool. But yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see some kind of like scenario tomorrow where some NXT people come and return the favor. Because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you come into my yard and you start yipping and yapping and get involved in my stuff, I'll show up to your house, do the same thing.
100%.
I'm gonna bust up. You're busting up a Tuesday night NXT. I'm gonna bust up one of your pay-per-views. I'm WWE, bitch.
Yeah.
Jasmine Nix is no.
That was where I was gonna go next. Jasmine Nix. They are not. Now, I appreciate her honesty and what she's been taught, because she's been kind of, she came right out and she said, listen, here it is. I thought for the work I put in, and I've had a lot of injuries. I missed a lot of time. She said she had to have like 4 knee surgeries before she was even really ever used on TV. She said what they offered me, I felt like was not what I was looking for. So I decided to walk away. We've then had some like figures and stuff come out, and she said that her goal was to make, somebody in the comments of her original post was like, oh, well, you got to make 6 figures, there's something around 6 figures or something like that, and she was like, no, that's my goal, I don't make that. And then it came out that it might be like, and again, money
NXT makes significantly less than
and significantly less as in $75,000 or under. Yeah. Which, to me, for the physical sacrifice that these people do, that does not seem like enough to me.
Well, that, and if you factor in the NXT side of it, now again, this is people's dreams. This is what they train for. This is their job. So again, you take it how you want, but the demand of having, because we've heard, like when Cora Jade left, the stories that came out about all of the things that she was asked to do, for weight training. And she said, I was working out on my off time, trying to hit this goal that they wanted me to hit, and I just couldn't hit it. So you're consuming your life 24/7, 365 to be on TV, and $75,000 a year is a lot of money to a lot of people. But if you break it down to that's all your whole life is consumed by that, to factor in the physical nature of it, yeah. If you don't think you're worth, there's jobs that pay $75,000 a year that don't require you to do that type of physical labor, and you could still work on whatever else you want to work on.
100%.
I don't know what $75,000 a year looks like. That'd be nice to know. But
if they had it their way, we'd be making less than what we make now. But Yeah, so that was some news, obviously, but I do appreciate her honesty. She's come right out in the forefront. She's talked very openly about it. She said, hey, I loved my time there. I loved the opportunity. I still would love to do it. I just felt I know my worth, and it just didn't match up with me. And I just appreciate it. You don't hear honesty all the time when it comes to situations like that. And I thought it was refreshing.
Yeah. She didn't
to hear her. No bad words, no ill will, just kind of like, hey, I thought they lowballed me, and I wanted more money, and we didn't work it out. So I'm comfortable. Good opportunity, good experience, but I'm comfortable kind of stepping away and doing my own thing and figuring it out. And
yeah,
I appreciated it.
And she could do the indie run if she wants. She could. I mean, I don't know if she's maybe TNA might come a calling, or we always do that thing. But yeah, she got to do whatever she wants now. She bet on herself.
Yep, she did.
Good for her.
Yeah, and then I know we've been dogging on WWE a lot tonight because of Wrestlealooza, but I did think Raw was pretty strong.
Yeah.
Especially the end sequence of the show. Kind of the running theme throughout for a little while now, but throughout the show was Asuka and Io and Kyrie, and Rhea Ripley's been kind of in the middle of it. So throughout Raw, a couple backstage sequences and things like that, and we end up getting a main event of Rhea versus Asuka, which had me all sorts of excited.
Yeah.
We had ourselves a good match, and then at the end, after Rhea picked up a victory, Asuka gives Rhea the mist all over Rhea.
She
looked
like
a Smurf. She looked like a Smurf.
Yeah. Oh, that's my God.
It was all. She was covered in.
She was covered in it. Lillian ended up covered in it somehow when they got Rhea out of the ring. It was everywhere.
Unbelievable. And they start beating down, and Kyrie follows suit. She listens to Asuka. And one good thing that I thought was earlier in the night when Io and Asuka were kind of talking to each other and she leaves, we got some insight from Kyrie where Kyrie looked at Io and she said, Asuka's the reason that we are both here. Like without Asuka, we would not be here. Right. So we should listen to Asuka. And I thought, it wasn't anything major. It was one or two lines, but I thought that for the first time in this, you kind of understood why Kyrie was acting the way she had been acting and kind of felt like she's a person in the middle, but always went with Asuka when Asuka called, and that's what you need. It's sometimes it's not hard, Pluggo. It's just one little thing like that. And it's like, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Asuka's a legend, and, if she's not wrong. Without Asuka's success, I don't know if they would go down that road and try to get some more talent like that from Japan. And yeah, I love this dynamic. I love the Io Sky part of it. She's broken up about it. She doesn't know what to do because she's still like, you can tell, like when she talks to Asuka and Kyrie, she's still like, those are my people, those are my girls, but I don't like what you're doing, and I like Rhea Ripley, because who the hell doesn't like Rhea Ripley right now? She's the most over person in the company. But it was a great way to end the night. I definitely, they didn't have anything advertised for the whole day.
I know
they didn't advertise, so I was worried. I was like, oh God, what are we doing here? But I think they put together a pretty good show, and putting that in the main event was the right call.
Yeah, and then we officially, so they're beating down Rhea. Io comes out. She's like, hey, stop. Like, just stop, all right? She's not that bad. Like, she's fine. And we finally see Asuka turn on Io, attacks Io, and Kyrie follows suit and beats down Io. So, obviously, they are gearing up for Perth. Obviously, Rhea Ripley's going to be on that show. It is in Australia. Yeah. And I think we are going to be getting Rhea teaming up with Io to take on the Kabuki Warriors. That'll be a big match. I could see that match opening the show. And Rhea kind of getting that pop to start the night in the home country. But that's going to be a big-time tag match with the ladies involved. It's a good spot. I'm interested to see where Io goes there, because Io is obviously an over babyface, but could they do an angle where maybe Io was kind of
in on it?
Not in on it, but like, could that whole, Kyrie kind of, hey, Asuka's why we're could Io have some doubt about whether she should actually be going or listening with Asuka? Or do we think that this is just straight up normal, like, oh, you're my enemy now, I hate you, we're fighting? Like, do you think they could do layers to it with Io being confused?
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely sure. I think that you're gonna see. Okay, I'm trying to think. Like Cody, you're gonna see that Cody Rhodes. Like, should I hit her with this pipe? I know she's gonna hit me, but I'm gonna. You know what I mean? Where he was doing that thing where he was like in and out of the heel tactics in certain matches. He's like, I don't want to go there. I think you could see that with Io because I think that there's the layer of like she does respect Asuka and she does respect Kyrie and. We have Mikey Mumbles in the house.
What's up, Mikey? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
So yeah, I think you could do that. I think there could still be this, Asuka's jawing the whole time and getting in Io's head, and she's questioning her alliance with Rhea. But ultimately, yeah, I think it's gonna be that's where they're going. That'd be fun, man. That'd be a good time.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Wrestling is fun, man. There's a lot of fun stuff that happens in wrestling. We always have to sometimes focus on things that aren't as fun, but that's definitely fun.
Yeah. Scott, I agree with you. Io and Asuka is a match that a lot of us have wanted to see for a very long time, and it feels like we're going to be getting a program, hopefully a lengthy one with these two, which I love. Mikey, we are both well. Appreciate you being here, popping in, saying hello before we finish up here in a few. But yeah, I thought that was a great way to end Raw. I love the ladies main eventing. I love the heel turn. Looking forward to that tag match. It should be quite good. I agree, Fernando. Asuka and Io should be fire. It should be very, very good. Hopefully we get multiple matches out of it. Give it some juice. I don't think Io needs to be around the title for a little bit. Let Stephanie do her thing and kind of take care of that. So this is a good, meaty, juicy story for Io to be involved with her two best friends, her two country women. I love it. I wonder
who's going to be the first. I wonder who's going to be the first one to step to Stephanie officially, because I know like Rhea said she's coming. Io obviously could run that back, but like, and then you got Asuka, Kyrie mixed up into that. I don't know who's going to be. Bailey's mixed up with Lyra right now.
Oh, that's another thing that we can talk about.
Roxanne is doing her thing in the Judgment Day, so I'm wondering who like is going to be the one. Yeah,
I think it should be Natty, not Natalia. I think it should be Natty.
That'd be dope.
I think it should be Natty.
Bailey, she just crazily just gets.
Oh, I love everything they're doing with Bailey right now. I love everything they're doing with Bailey. I love it. She's
ridiculous, man. It's awesome.
I love it.
Bianca, that'd be cool if Bianca came back. That'd be a great shot. Yeah. When I made these thoughts, I didn't think about Bianca because she's not on TV right now, so I'm not considering that as somebody who's going to step in and immediately get a title picture, but Bianca would be cool.
Tomorrow night so we're building to Crown Jewel. We saw Cody and Seth on Raw. They're going to be champion versus champion at Crown Jewel.
For the Crown Jewel Championship.
Woo! So we know it's going to be Stephanie on one side, but tomorrow night on SmackDown, we have ourselves a triple threat, which I assume will be the main event. It's Tiffany defending against Jade and Nia Jax. So that should be good. I think it's going to be Tiffany who retains, and we'll get Stephanie and Tiffany. However, am I crazy for wanting them to put the belt back on Nia?
No.
What do you think? Do you think it's going to be Jade? You made a face. You think Jade's going to get it?
That was the original plan, right? Like I thought that's what they were angling for, was Jade was going to be the one, and then we ended up in this triple threat situation. Tiffany versus Stephanie though would be good. You have me pick between. I loved what Nia Jax did the last time she had the title. That's why I make the face, because I love what Nia Jax did the last time she had the title.
Stephanie versus Nia is the most baby.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Of the three women in that match, who do you think matches up best with Stephanie? And can give you a Stephanie, a banger with, who put on a banger with
Tiffany.
Right. Because
But
it's like
Nia would have the strength, David versus Goliath, heel versus baby face.
First big challenge, But
Yes,
so would Jade. But so would Jade. Jade's a powerhouse too.
She is.
But I don't know if she can keep up with Stephanie.
I think Tiffany's the best option to keep up with Stephanie
that's
that way. Because I think Stephanie's winning no matter what. I think Stephanie's going to win the crown. I think they're hitching their wagons to her the whole way. And I think Stephanie is going to win the crown jewel thing no matter who she fights. But at the same time, I feel like if you're looking for the best quality match, it's Tiffany. But there is that thing where a lot of people think Tiffany's banged up, so the triple threat is being used to kind of let her go heel and give it to somebody else, which I think it should be Nia if that's the case, not Jade.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, if you're not going to pull the trigger with Jade because you didn't pull it at SummerSlam, then we need to move on and to get her doing something different.
I think
not in a bad way, just like get her on Raw.
I don't think they're going to do it. But I would love Bianca to cost Jade. I just think that would be fantastic.
You'll have to tune in tomorrow night on SmackDown to find out.
Yeah, but
I'm going to be watching Victory Road.
I will probably be keeping an eye on both if I had to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'll probably keep an eye on both as well. But
yeah, there were a lot of other things. AJ Styles earlier today announced on a radio show or a podcast that he's going to be retiring sometime next year. He said he thinks he'll probably do Mania, but it's not a guarantee, but he thinks he'll do Mania. And then sometime in 2026, he will retire. So he said that today. So we know we're getting the Cena match in a couple weeks.
Slammiversary would be if you wanted to do it in the go to Slammiversary one last time in the summer.
That'd be fun. I don't know if you think his retirement match would be with TNA though?
No, but I would hope that it goes through that and we get him in TNA proper one more time.
Yeah, I would agree.
But let's not talk about that. Okay, I'm sick of all these people retiring.
Listen, man, we're on to the next generation, Pluggo. We're old men.
Yeah,
we're old men.
These young whippersnappers now. I'm like,
yeah. Fernando, I saw that discourse with her. I was very disappointed in Gail Kim. I don't think we need to dive into it too much, but I was very disappointed about. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. She actually was an all-time great. I'm a nobody who's never wrestled. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I did not enjoy the things she said about Riho, and I did not enjoy the things she said about GCW and deathmatch wrestling as her and Lauderdale kind of went back and forth with each other. It never got ugly or anything like that. It maintained respectful between the two of them on Twitter, but I did not agree with Gail Kim's stances and how she kind of felt about those things. That was kind of disappointing, but again, doesn't take away what I think about her as a in-ring performer. I think she's one of the all-timers on the ladies' side of things, and I think she's a great mind for the business. I just think, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it, but it is what it is. If you haven't seen a Pluggo, I would suggest after we get off here,
I'll take a look. I saw a couple.
Her and Lauderdale went back and forth.
I saw a couple. I saw like Omega's response, and I was like, "What could you?" And I'm sure it boiled down to Riho's size, which I think is a silly thing in wrestling. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, Riho's
small. She's tiny,
small. Yeah. But again, wrestling is one of those you're supposed to suspend your disbelief.
Last time I checked, Rey Mysterio runs off the middle fucking rope. He runs off the middle rope, and he was WWE World Champion.
Yeah,
so kiss my ass.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
I really don't care.
Yeah. My boy Marco Stunt wasn't the biggest dude in the world, but he scored up with some big dudes. Anyway,
it is what it is to me. Eddie Guerrero was a small guy.
Yeah,
he won the world title. There was another guy that we don't talk about anymore who was a small guy. He won the world title. There's plenty of small people have been fighting or have won world titles, and I get it. She is tiny, but who gives a shit? And again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I took more offense to the besmirching or demeaning of the wrestlers that participate in. And again, death matches are for everybody. I wouldn't even consider myself a super hardcore death match. I will watch a death match because they're a good time, a lot of them. but like I'm not into that, I would say. But I have respect for the people that did it, so it was kind of lame to see someone of Gail Kim's stature kind of demean that. Even if you don't like it, that's fine, but to kind of disrespect it and the people that do it the way she did, not. She kind of retracted a little bit once Lauderdale went at her a bit, but her first couple batches of comments, I was like, come on, don't be one of those people. Don't be one of those people.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But anyway, all right, we got to get out of here. Fun show tonight. A lot to talk about. Thank you to the chat. You guys were great as always.
Yes, sir.
Pluggo, why don't you got some stuff coming up? Why don't you plug all your stuff? Let them know where they can find you and the show.
Yeah, so Saturday morning, well, actually tomorrow night, I decided to do the Victory Road post show because I haven't done a PLE post show in a while, and I don't know when the next one will be because I'll be busy, which is a good problem to have. So I'll sit and watch Victory Road, and whoever wants to pop in and join me after that, we can chat that and whatever happened on SmackDown. Saturday morning, I'm back at 10 a.m. with Blair Pacheco of the Grand Maker Podcast for Exposure. We've got Time Bomb Pro. LPW stuff is coming up. There's a lot of stuff to talk about there, so tune in there. We got a couple of guests popping on. You'll have to stay tuned to the socials at For Exposure Pod on all social media platforms for that. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. with this gentleman, Between Two Beers with JPJ, at B2 Beers on all social media platforms for what we got going on. And then I am Pluggo, at Pluggo on all social media platforms. And I plan to get back to writing this weekend. I was unavailable last weekend to write my top 5, so I will come up with a top 5 for this week. That'll be on lovewrestling.ca. Thank you, Fernando. It was great to have you in here, my man.
Yeah, it was good. Tonight was, I mean, they're all fun, but I thought tonight, I feel like more times than not, it's more rare that it's just the two of us. Because we usually have one of our great friends or guests popping on and having a good time with us. So it's good to kind of just have the two-man weave every so often, especially when you have a night where there's a million things to talk about. So tonight was fun. You can follow me, JPJ Loves Gaming, on all social media platforms. My week was royally screwed up this week with scheduling stuff, with the shoot job and things, later nights than usual. So I kind of... a lot of my content that you're used to kind of got pushed aside this week, unfortunately. But like Pluggo said, every Thursday night, I am here for Between Two Beards, us two getting after it. He is coming to my neck of the woods in a few weeks. We're hopefully going to be giving you some great content. I kind of hope that so my plan is on the Saturday that obviously we're going to wake up early and watch Crown Jewel. Yeah. Then after Crown Jewel, I kind of want to take Pluggo into the city, into the Bean, and bring him to all the famous Boston things. So hopefully we'll have our phones open. We'll be recording some stuff. We'll get Pluggo. Yeah, and then Sunday night we'll be in Lowell, Massachusetts for Bound for Glory. Hopefully we'll even maybe get some opportunities to do some cool interviews or some things maybe earlier or after the show. We'll see how it goes. But I'm looking forward to those days with Pluggo and covering Bound for Glory for the site. But follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming over on the Hive Media. Pluggo does college football reviews. Picks. He does college football picks every week. Pluggo's.
Those are up right now. Pluggo's playbook, as Josh has affectionately dubbed it.
Yes. So I
didn't even have a name for it. He gave me a name. And I was like, that's a great name. Actually a great name. Yeah.
So I do a show called The Swarm a couple times a week over there with my pal CJ. And then I also do a video game series with College Football 26, which should be coming out sometime tomorrow, called The Hive U, where I created the Hive University in college football. And we're doing a dynasty mode there as well. And then you can catch me every Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite with our pal Jose on the air. Over on bodyslam.net doing Dynamite Up. So that's where you can find me. But the main place you can find me is right here, Thursday nights, 8 p.m., the flagship show here at Love Wrestling, B2B. Got some cool stuff coming up soon. Very excited to kind of get after that. So thank you to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you all for hanging in and talking with us every week and being here every week. It means more to us than you know. And for Pluggo, for myself, for everyone here at Love Wrestling, we will see you all next week. You all know the drill. Say hi to Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Peace out.
Hey there, Pluggo and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. You know, get a grip. You you have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm gonna cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer gonna get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch.